I'm Dan Julian, CRO at I4C Consulting. Over the past year, we launched ForgeSight, a boutique Palantir partner, and we set our team a challenge. Treat our 27-year-old IT consulting company like a client. Rebuild our legacy processes from the ground up on Palantir Foundry, and prove what operational AI can deliver. The result, as you'll see today, includes transforming some of our most complex workflows, like the RFX process. AI now reads the RFP, evaluates our fit, recommends the right consultant, and even triggers downstream workflows like payroll and invoicing. Rather than explain it myself, I'm going to pass it off to one of our forward deployed engineers, Adam, who built this end to end.
Thanks, Dan. Welcome to the I4C Internal Hub, powered by Palantir Foundry. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how we actually run our consulting business end-to-end on Palantir. If you are ready to unpack all of that, then let's get started and dive in. Starting with the first step of the process, the RFX. Here's an example of an RFX. This one is 61 pages long. They usually arrive as giant, unstructured PDFs in someone's inbox, just like the one you see here. Now, before we built this, that meant a couple hours of scrolling, copy and pasting into spreadsheets, and we wanted all of that overhead work to just totally disappear. So now, all we have to do is drop the RFX PDF into Foundry and let an AI-powered pipeline do the work. Let's take a look at what's happening behind the scenes. We upload the document and then run it through an LLM model to extract key information and criteria that we need from the PDF. Next, we apply our business rules and some data cleaning to fully ingest the PDF into our ontology. Now, let's go one step deeper into the tech side. Foundry is actually turning that raw PDF into structured data. It's classifying sections, mapping values into our RFX schema, it's validating fields, and it's building relationships to other object types in our ontology. And all of that logic lives in our pipeline. So for a 61-page RFX, the whole extraction and processing step completes in just a few minutes end to end, instead of a couple hours of manual labor that we used to do. So the gain here is massive. Now that we're back in the internal hub, let's walk through one of the most important AI-powered workflows that we've built, RFX matching. In the real world, this is where we lose a lot of time. Someone reads the RFX, emails a few people, digs through resumes, and tries to guess who's qualified and who's available for this contract. We wanted Foundry and AIP to handle all of that. So in this RFX matching view, we're working over an object set of candidate consultant objects. We let the system query all the available consultants, check their skills and project history, and propose the top 5 people for this RFX. All we have to do is click Assign by AI. That triggers an AI-powered workflow that takes the RFX requirement, combines them with our consultant objects, and proposes a staffing plan. While this workflow runs for a few seconds, AIP is grounding the prompt in our ontology. It's pulling in the RFX criteria, consultant skills, availability, historical projects, rates, and information, sending all of that to an LLM model. And then it's translating the model's recommendation back into concrete updates in the ontology object layer as a proposal. The LLM isn't just chatting here like an AI agent. It's returning a structured plan that we map into a consultant assignment. And it even has scores and rationales. From a user perspective, it feels like a single click, but under the hood, we're running a full matching algorithm with reasoning for our business logic in just a few minutes. And just like that, you can see the top 5 consultants that the LLM has selected is automatically assigned to this RFX. Because this is built on the ontology, everything is backed by the same source of truth. There are no side spreadsheets or external communication. Everything is driven purely by the ontology, which is our digital copy of our real-world business. Now, let's drill a little bit deeper on how the LLM evaluates if a candidate is a good fit for this contract. I'll click into view on this RFX object, and we can take a look at the LLM response. Across the columns, we have the criteria number, the LLM score, the percentage weight that the RFX assigns to that criteria, and a couple other columns. In the criteria content column, we see the exact requirement from the document. For example, the consultant must hold a specific certification to be eligible. Then, in the LLM response column, we see the evaluation. The model confirms that a given consultant does in fact have the required certification and then explains why they're a good fit. Because this requirement is fully met, that row will get a 10 out of 10. Now, because we're using AI, we know that it can occasionally make mistakes. If the model happened to misunderstand something, it's not actually a big problem. We can easily click into the row, manually make adjustments to the criteria content or the LLM response, and the pipeline will run again based on the corrected information to rescore the candidate in that specific area. So the AI does the heavy lifting, but humans still stay in control of the final decision. Now that we're happy with the evaluation, we can generate an RFX response document instantly. We can use this document to submit a bid and win the work. What used to take hours of manual reading, copy and paste, and scoring now just takes a few minutes and the talent is matched. Let's move on to the next step of the process. Once we've won this RFX, we need to generate a contract in the ontology that will be used as our single source of truth. We can do this through a simplified form that updates our ontology. Once that's submitted, a new contract is created and automatically linked to the RFX, the client, and the consultant. Once we have that contract, we can go ahead and select it, and we can see some details. If we need to make some edits, we can simply do so. But if everything looks good, we can go ahead and print off a signed copy for our consultant. Once the consultant signs the copy and returns it to us, then we can go ahead and start the work. Once the consultant has started their contract, they can keep track of their time on a weekly or monthly basis. They can also keep track of their total hours per day. They can describe in loose text what they're working on, and then in the background, we have an AI that will structure their loose text into work items that we can use and bundle up for invoicing. At the end of the month, when it's time to invoice, we can simply choose a month, choose a consultant, and then we can make any last-minute changes by updating a single row. But once everything looks good, we can go ahead and generate a PDF invoice, which will automatically generate that invoice with all of the consultant's work hours and the work details, and send it directly to the client in a matter of just a few seconds. And just like that, we've automated a ton of overhead in our consulting business.
By partnering with ForgeSight to rebuild our business on Foundry, we're saving more than $1 million annually and freeing our employees to do more high-value work. This is what happens when you stop treating AI as a buzzword and rebuild your business around it.